Hello. So this is a little segment I like to call Ben's 2 cents. It's unscripted, and I just talk the shit. So let's let's talk about something here. It's been weighing on me a little bit. Yeah. I want to talk about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Now, as an organization, the actual official BLM organization, they're Marxists. They're pushing like a semi-communist agenda. Don't agree with that at all. However, the people on the street, the people out there protesting, trying to bring change and stop police brutality, 100% agree with them. No issue with them. It's a just cause. Because let's face it, if your community is being targeted and being shot while you're unarmed, you'd stand up and do something about it as well. But here's the thing, and this is true about any protest you throw. You hold any public event, you're going to have the people who come out and support you. You're going to have the people who are just the looky-loos and have the mob mentality, and but they generally just go with the flow. They're maybe one way, they're maybe the other. But, generally, so you got supporters, you've got looky-loos, and then you've got the shit stirrers and instigators, like Antifa, who will go out of their way to ruin your event, essentially. They're the ones that are breaking windows. They're the ones that are... And to be honest, it's not even really Antifa. I'm going to correct myself on that. It's just... There's the fourth group. And those are the people that just want to watch the world burn. I'm not saying they're anarchists, because I know some anarchists. They're pretty chill people. I know some Antifa. They're pretty, they're very in their beliefs. But they're not necessarily bad people. I know a lot of BLM people, and they're chill as shit. But you got those people that they're the ones that are setting fires. They're the ones that are launching fireworks at the cops. They're the ones that are instigating and escalating the violence. And the thing about it is when you and it's happening is you lose the message. When people that want to watch the world burn are allowed to do what they're doing, it detracts from your message, and now everybody hates you. And you get the bad press and the bad PR. And that's the truth with all these groups. And you gotta ask yourself, the question is, why are those, you've got the left people, supporting them in their protests, which is good. But then you got the people on the right who are, against they're against the protests. And I've talked to some people about that, and a lot of it is misguided. They think because the rioting and looting is during the BLM protest that BLM is responsible for it. And then you're just basically saying they're guilty by association. And they're not. So these people just show up. I mean, there's videos of especially with what happened in Minnesota. People show up, and then you end up, and then it snowballs, and then you end up with Kenosha, with the whole, you end up with the Kyle effect. Somebody going down there I'm going to protect businesses, and I'm going to do this, and then you end up with a shit show, and everybody's just doing this, and it's not. I'm just going to come out and say it. We need to be united. We need to have Everybody needs to come together. Because when it comes down to the message, police brutality needs to stop. Government overreach needs to stop. The violation of our civil rights needs to stop. I mean, they're talking about in Texas, Governor Abbott's talking about basically making protesting a felony. He's going to pass some very vague law that basically says if you protest without a permit, you're now a felon. If you are too loud and disturbing the peace, you're a felon. If you march in the street, you're a felon. Because there's no description or clear cut, this is a riot, this is a protest. It's vague, and it's open to interpretation by law enforcement. So if the cops have a hard-on for your group, you're fucked. You're all going to be arrested for a felony. You're going to be stripped of your civil rights. You're not going to be able to vote. You're not going to be able to own firearms because you're a felon now. That's the shit that we all need to come together and go, no, that's our First Amendment. We have the right to take our grievances to the government. We have a right to march in the streets. If we torch a cop car, it's public fucking property. I don't care. It's going against the people that are the problem. Now, to flip that, if you're going to go in and burn a Target or a dealership or destroy private property, that's wrong. I do not support that at all. Because that is not, you're bettering your own situation. You're not doing anything to help the cause or change what's happening. You are committing a crime. And that's not protected by your civil rights. I don't wish violence on anyone. I just want things to change. And if the peaceful outlet of that doesn't work, then there's only one option left. But we aren't at that point yet as a people. We just need to get more voices, all saying, united, the same thing. We are done. You will not no-knock raid our houses. You will not shoot unarmed people and basically have the state execute them without a trial. We will not stand by and abide that. And if all the groups can just, and that's their biggest fear, honestly, that is whoever's running this show in the background and creating all this divisive narrative, that is their biggest fear. Oh my God, if you had BLM, Threepers, Boog Boys, fucking everyone holding hands going, we want this to stop, they'd shit their pants. Because there's not a damn thing new. There's no news report out there that could ever possibly twist that. Because now, if all the races and groups are united, there's no narrative they could say, oh, well, they're alt-right, they're alt-left, they're white supremacists, they're black supremacists, they're this. No, we're all together saying the same fucking thing. And that's what we need to strive for. We need to open that communication, open those channels, and have that unity. Because once we're united, they can't stop us. They can't stand against us. What are they going to do? Shoot a bunch of civilians? It's not going to happen. Now, I've noticed too with different protests, when you have armed people at your protest, the cops leave you the fuck alone. Because when it comes down to it, we're not going to cross the line unless they cross the line. And it's the same as this. They're not going to cross it unless we cross it. Everybody wants to go home at the end of the night. So I've noticed where protests where they're unarmed and peaceful, they get pepper sprayed, bean bags, they get the pepper spray, they get flashbangs, they get stunned. Like, the cops move in, and it is absolute brutality and carnage, all being perpetrated by the state. On the flip side, when they're armed, cops back off. Let them do their protest. Everybody goes home. Nothing happens. It doesn't even make the news. I've noticed in Dallas, Texas, BLM has been in a group called, I believe they're called Take Back the Streets. They were marching after the latest officer murder. I'm going to call it, because you shoot an unarmed guy, it's murder. They had armed guys there. They were walking around with rifles. Nothing happened. They marched. They went to City Hall. They marched in the different areas for like a few nights straight. I'm not sure. They might still be doing it, because they said they were going to do it every night. But they were marching, and they were left alone. Police didn't even show up. They had a few altercations with people in restaurants that disagreed with them, which is fine. Disagreement is fine, because it opens a dialogue of communication, which is something we need. So, but that's my 2 cents on this. Unity, communication, understanding, and maintaining the message. Anyways, this is Hibiscus Society News. Ben's 2 cents. Good night.